Hello there, friends. Welcome back to our study along of the World Order of Baha'u'llah, selected letters by Shoghi Effendi, just a gal named Jackie here, excavating some of the seeds and gems for the spiritual solutions for all of the world's problems. That's why I'm doing this study along. That is my intention. That is what I'm hoping we will unearth and come to a greater understanding together. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. Linked below in the description, you will find the launch video for this project to give you a better idea of what this document is, who I am, why I'm doing this, as well as this document, if you want to follow along online, a playlist of all of the weekly study along videos leading up to today. We just take little bite-sized pieces every week, and a study guide for this document, as well as some information about the Baha'i Faith. So we are in the middle of a letter called America and the Most Great Peace, written in 1933, and so perfect. If you are a Baha'i or a friend of the faith, you may know that coming up in about 2 weeks is a very special Baha'i celebration. The Baha'i Faith is very, very young, and we are approaching the centenary, the 100th year mark of the passing of the son of the prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith, whom Baha'is refer to as Abdu'l-Baha, or the master. Abdu'l-Baha actually means servant of Baha, but we call him the master because he was essentially a master of living. He was an example of an ordinary human, just like you and me, who lived a perfect life, right? So coming up in 2-ish weeks is the 100th year of the passing of Abdu'l-Baha, and we just happen to be reading a section about Abdu'l-Baha's visit to America. So it's all meant to be, folks. It's all meant to be. So we're jumping into paragraph 27, again in the letter, America and the Most Great Peace. The seeds which Abdu'l-Baha's ceaseless activities so lavishly scattered had endowed the United States and Canada, nay, the entire continent, with potentialities such as it had never known in its history. On the small band of his trained and beloved disciples, and through them on their descendants, he, through that visit to America, had bequeathed a priceless heritage, a heritage which carried with it the sacred and primary obligation to arise and carry on in that fertile field the work he had so gloriously initiated. Okay, since I stumbled, I'm going to go back. So, to the believers and to the believers' descendants, I assume that's whether biological or like believers to come afterwards, Abdu'l-Baha bequeathed a priceless heritage, a heritage which carried with it the sacred and primary obligation to arise and carry forward in that fertile field of the work he had so gloriously initiated. So our heritage is a sacred and primary obligation to arise and carry on the work that Abdu'l-Baha initiated. Oh my God, it's a high call, you guys. It's a high call. We can dimly picture to ourselves the wishes that must have welled from his eager heart as he bade his last farewell to that promising country. And inscrutable wisdom, we can well imagine him remark to his disciples on the eve of his departure, has in his infinite bounty singled out your native land for the execution of a mighty purpose. So this is like, we can well imagine he would have said this. Through the agency of Baha'u'llah's covenant, I, as the plowman, have been called upon since the beginning of my ministry to turn up and break its ground. The mighty confirmations that have in the opening days of your career rained upon you have prepared and invigorated its soil. The tribulations you subsequently were made to suffer have driven deep furrows into the field which my hands have prepared. The seeds with which I have been entrusted, I have now scattered far and wide before you. Under your loving care, by your ceaseless exertions, every one of these seeds must germinate. Every one must yield its destined fruit. A winter of unprecedented severity will soon be upon you. Its storm clouds are fast gathering on the horizon. Tempestuous winds will assail you from every side. The light of the covenant will be obscured through my departure. These mighty blasts, this wintry desolation, shall, however, pass away. The dormant seed will burst into fresh activity. It shall put forth its buds, shall reveal in mighty institutions its leaves and blossoms. The vernal showers which the tender mercies of my heavenly Father will cause to descend upon you will enable this tender plant to spread out its branches to regions far beyond the confines of your native land. And finally, the steady mounting sun of his revelation, shining in its meridian splendor, will enable this mighty tree of his faith to yield in the fullness of time and on your soil its golden fruit. Wow, that was so beautiful, you guys. That was so poetic. So this was, Shoghi Effendi in really beautiful language, sharing the essence of what he felt Abdu'l-Baha would have said on his departure from the shores of America. It's a very unique passage. In my copy of this book, it's page 86. Again, this is paragraph 27 of America and the Most Great Peace. If you want to maybe use that for some of your celebrations for the centenary of the ascension of Abdu'l-Baha. Fairly pretty. So going on, paragraph 28, the implications of such a parting message could not long remain unrevealed to Abdu'l-Baha's initiated disciples. No sooner had he concluded his long and arduous journey across the American and European continents than the tremendous happenings to which he had alluded began to be made manifest. A conflict such as he had predicted severed for a time all means of communication with those whom he had come to place such implicit trust and from whom he was expecting so much in return. The wintry desolation, with all its havoc and carnage, pursued during 4 years its relentless course, while he, repairing to the quiet solitude of his residence in the close neighborhood of Baha'u'llah's hallowed shrine, continued to communicate his thoughts and wishes to those whom he had left behind and on whom he had conferred the unique tokens of his favor. In the immortal tablets, which in the long hours of his communion with his dearly beloved friends, he was moved to reveal, he unfolded to their eyes his conception of their spiritual destiny, his plan for the mission he wished them to undertake. The seeds his hands had sown, he was now watering with the same care, the same love and patience which had characterized his previous endeavors whilst he was laboring in their midst. All right, friends, I'm going to conclude there, again, to keep these bite-sized. Thank you so much for studying along with me. I would like to say a huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon. It means so much to me to have your support and encouragement and participation in everything that I create and put out into the world. If you are interested in ways that you can support this channel and my work, you'll find all of that linked below in the description. And I want to remind you to like this video. If you do, it helps other people find it. Subscribe to this channel. Feel free to leave your thoughts, comments, and research in the comment section below. And if you come to this channel, you know how it goes. Until next time, I wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. Bye-bye.